And welcome back to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. Thank you all for being with us today, as we are every Thursday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, welcome, Emily. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and thank you, Sean, for the kind words. I'm glad you like what we said. And actually, in the very vein of being grateful and being generous, I really want to give a big shout out to Rob, who engineers my show every week and takes care of the radio station when I'm not here. Because of Rob's help with the station, I'm able to go to workshops like I did with the Evolutionary Business Council and take a break and, do things like that. So I am extremely grateful for you, Rob. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that shout out and compliment. Thanks. And just appreciation. But I have to say that it's funny because while you were talking, I was thinking about how much I appreciate you and how generous you are and how grateful I am that you're in my life. And I remember one day I came into the station, I was in so much emotional pain and I just needed a hug, and I started hugging you and I started to tear up a little, and you go, just let it out, brother.
Yeah.
And it's like just having someone do that, being that generous with their care and attention and support. I just appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the recognition. Yeah, I actually like when people get emotional. I know society is like, oh no, emotion's bad. No, you can't show your emotions, whether they're, happy emotions or sad emotions. I'm like, no, tears are wonderful. Tears are very detoxifying for the body. And it's when we get in trouble is when we don't allow ourselves to be emotional. So I actually want people to be more emotional. Oh, thank you, Emily. I am getting more shout outs. Thank you, Emily. Love you too. Emily is in the training for the shamanic facilitation work that I'm doing as well. So thank you, Emily. Thank you for joining us. So again, it's you think about what is the effect of being generous. Why do I say generosity is a spiritual practice? Because when you think about what happens when we're generous with ourselves to the world, not necessarily anyone in particular, but just with ourselves to the world. Again, it's that old analogy of the pebble dropping in the still pond. The ripples go out. Mm-hmm. How many stories have I heard of somebody being generous with someone, just because they were grateful for all they had in life, and they had no clue, that person was thinking of committing suicide that day, or it just totally lightened somebody's life, or, somebody was just having a hard day and it changed it all around. And just think about it, for every individual that we're generous with, we have no clue of how they go out in their lives, and then how are they generous or better able to serve other people. And then those people, because someone was generous with them, how are they better able to go out into the world? I mean, it really is a very spiritual practice, because it's saying, hey, I am the creator of my life. And I am going to be grateful for everything I've created in my life, even if it's not perfect, because it's never perfect. I am going to go out and I'm going to spread this energy of gratefulness, of generosity, because that shows, and that is the manifestation of the spiritual understanding that we are all connected. Right? I mean, think about it. If we are all part of one big universe, if we are all brothers and sisters spiritually, energetically, then it's how can we not be generous with other people?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it reminds me of just the idea, and actually I got the chills while you were talking about the mind movies and really describing it. And I think when I get the chills, it's usually because I'm connecting with the truth about something, or the love about something, or the spirit about something. And it's like one soul connecting to another on that energetic level.
Right. And
so I love getting the chills about something because it means I'm connecting to that energy. And what I was thinking about is that it's almost like, that expression, freely give and freely you shall receive,
right.
Or what you give, you get back. And I was thinking about an analogy about having a clenched fist or an open hand.
Right.
And it's almost like if I have a clenched fist and I'm focused on myself and I'm not concerned about anybody else and I'm not giving back in any way and it's just all about me, I can't really receive with a clenched fist.
Right.
But if I have an open hand and I freely give, in the other open hand, I can receive. And a lot of times for me, I mean, I love people and I care about people, and it's one of the reasons why I try and be thoughtful and generous and give back and help and support and do whatever I can. But it's also because it makes me feel better.
Absolutely. Again, generosity, gratitude, some of the highest vibrational frequencies we can emit. And you know, it reminds me of that you say that of, I don't know if you're familiar with that sort of traditional position that we see of Buddha in statues and stuff, where the left hand, the palm is facing up and it's open, and the right hand, either the index finger and thumb are together or just open and facing out. And that's very, very symbolic of giving and receiving. Because according to many spiritual traditions, we receive with the left and we give with the right. And so with the left palm facing up, it's like we're willing to receive from the universe. And with the right palm facing out or facing forward, we're giving to those around us. We're giving to the world around us. And there's sort of this natural dance that occurs of this giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And when we're in that flow, we don't have to hoard. We don't have to save up, because we know life is giving to us and we're receiving and we're able to give to others. And so when we're living in that state, we're naturally, what happens is we end up sort of training our nervous system to live in trust, right? When we're being generous with others, we're sort of naturally saying, like, I'm trusting the universe. I'm able to be generous because I'm trusting that the universe will support me, that life will support me and will lift me up, and that my needs will be met. And not only will my needs be met, but I will be supported generously. And so it's kind of like the generosity retrains our nervous system to say, okay, life is supporting me today, right now, in this moment, so I am able to give. I am able to be generous. I am able to be grateful, and in that gratitude, give generously. Right? It's creating sort of these positive neural networks within our brain and these positive data points that retrain our nervous system from all the trauma and all the perceived lack that we've had in our life. Ooh, welcome, Luke and GP, to the Facebook live stream. Thank you for tuning in.
You bring up such an important word, and the more I live life, the more I focus on this word trust. I think it's so important to focus on not only if we have fear about trusting or being vulnerable or opening up ourselves that way because we don't want to get hurt, or whether we really have experience when we trust how things work out or how the universe has delivered or had our back. It's so important to really focus on this, because for me, Sam, it's one of the core beliefs that is either being challenged by my old belief system or being strengthened by my new belief system.
Yeah, trust is so important. And again, it's kind of one of those things that the more we trust, the easier it is for the universe to bring us what we're looking for. And it's kind of the more we trust, that trust can be infectious to the people around us. And that's where our generosity comes from. It's like that trust, like, yeah, we live in an abundant world. I mean, this whole idea of scarcity is like such a lie. There is more than enough in this world to feed and clothe everybody and support everybody in a tremendous lifestyle. And the only reason why there are certain areas and populations and why there are people who are destitute and don't have enough food to eat is because there are people who are not being generous, who have the resources, who are not sharing the resources, and not being generous because they feel like, oh, if they give away stuff, they're not going to have enough, or they're not going to have enough power, or just because they don't trust. You know, and if we did trust, we could feed the world 10 times over. You know, I mean, look, even in this country, the amount of food we throw out because it gets wasted, because, you know, we had so much, we didn't have the time to eat it before it got bad. I mean, that is like a crime when you think about how many people around the world don't have. Now, again, there's a whole logistical thing about getting, you know, stuff from where it's grown to where it's needed and everything else. Hey, I get that. I get that. But the point I'm trying to make is there are enough billionaires in the world that and there are enough, not even just billionaires, but millionaires and 100,000aires. There's enough abundance in this world that if we would just trust that we will be taken care of, and if everybody just acted generously enough to people around us, that then we would be able to change it. And by the way, for those of you, I'm not down on this world. We are actually moving more and more in that direction. For those of you who like tune in occasionally to Tony Martinetti's nonprofit show, no, Tony Martinetti Nonprofit Radio, every year they talk about nonprofit giving, and it is increasing every single year, year over year. It's the highest it's ever been. Over $1 trillion goes towards nonprofit and to causes. So it's not that we're not moving in the right direction. You know, sometimes we get caught up in the fact that we're not there yet. Yes, we're not there yet, but you know what? We are moving in the right direction. So let's not get down on where things are now. Let's continue to focus on the what of that day when there is no such thing as a hungry person in the world, because that day is coming. Will we see it in our lives? I don't know. Not my job. Up to the universe. All I know is that's the what. How it's going to happen, not my business. That's up to the universe to take care of. The what I visualize, what I look for, what gets my rockets fired is visualizing that kind of a world. And I know it's coming. Ooh, thank you, GP. If we really wanted to, we would. And in fact, most of us want to. Agreed, GP. Thank you so much for contributing. Okay, wow, I can't believe it. It's already time for our last break of the show. So this is the last chance, last segment coming up. What does generosity mean to you? How is generosity a spiritual practice in your life? Let me know on the Facebook live stream or give us a call, 877-480-4120. We'll be right back after these messages.